It's the most amazing, fabulous, sensational.
Set him up.
What's so fat about it?
Bro, you can see it in his eyes.
You can see it,
He cut his eyes at it.
What it do, baby? Back again with another reaction. We got a Willy Wonka Dark Theory. Let's see what they got to say about the man himself.
Is the Grizzly Reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing!
Do you remember that part?
I mean, I ain't never watched the original.
I don't remember that. I watched it. I don't remember that part. It's a good edit, though. It's a good edit.
Fire enough! Quite right, sir! Stop the boat!
Okay.
I can believe it, though.
Willy
I can
Wonka is
easily
actually a
believe it.
wonderful chocolate-making man who has a factory that no one has been to for years.
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he releases 5 golden tickets into the world, summoning children to his factory. A factory which no one has been to in years, to meet a man who no one has seen in years. Does this bizarre act of kindness, in fact, have darker reasoning?
The suspense is terrible.
Now that when you put it like that, do you think in today's world, if there was a factory like this, great product, but you've never seen the man, nobody ever goes in or comes out. Do you think people would get this hype over it?
Yes. 100% yes.
And actually go in that bitch?
I don't know about going in that bitch.
I think some people would. They'd be fighting over golden tickets. I actually think they would.
But I know they'd be interested.
Yeah, for sure.
They'd be interested for sure.
There's a theory that suggests Willy Wonka is actually a serial killer and was planning to murder all of the golden ticket winners. Now this theory will only be for the Gene Wilder version, as the Johnny Depp version directly contradicts the theory.
Okay.
It could be said that Willy Wonka hates the children. In fact, he hates a lot of things in his life. He hates that people kept trying to steal his recipes. And despite being one of the most famous and well-loved men in the world, he doesn't really seem to gain any satisfaction from it. He spends most of his time locked away in his factory constantly working. He doesn't have a personal life. He doesn't have a wife or kids of his own. He seems deeply depressed. He's always smiling, but his smile always seems fake and usually downright sarcastic. He's just barely.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like he put crack in them candy bars. Something.
Crack
cocaine. They used to put it was in the Coke.
Because Coke was named Coke. That's why Coke was in it.
Hey.
Barely able to hide his contempt for the kids.
A few more tests.
How do you make them?
I'm a trifle deaf in this ear. Speak a little louder next time.
Now, one of the reasons that Wonka hates the children is because they don't do as they're told. Wonka planned everything from the beginning.
That's understandable. They're brats.
Accidents? What kind of accidents?
I didn't know we had to sign anything for this tour.
Look at the 5.
Everything in the factory is something that a kid would love, but they weren't supposed to touch anything unless he told them to. All the children, even Charlie, broke his rules. One of the parents even noticed that there was something off with Wonka.
Come on, Violet, we're getting out of here.
Oh, you can't get out backwards. Gotta go forwards to go back.
Wow.
It's time we talk about what happened inside the factory that makes me believe that Wonka did in fact murder all of the children, including Charlie.
What?
Augustus Gloop is eliminated first. If you've seen the movie, then you know Augustus Gloop falls into the chocolate river. Wonka tells us you'll be just fine. However, as pointed out by his mum, the child cannot swim. He is deprived of oxygen while underneath the chocolate. We then see him in a vacuum tube, which is applying extreme suction, thereby pulling all the air from his lungs, which we can clearly see. When Augustus's mother asks Wonka to do something, he says,
Don't just stand there, do something!
Help. Police. Murder.
Mr. Gloop is traveling at a large rate of speed. There's no way they got to him in time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Next, we have Violet Beauregard.
That's the one that ate the violet gum, right? That turned her purple.
Wonka actually provokes Violet, knowing that she is a champion gum chewer.
It's the most amazing, fabulous, sensational
This nigga
gum.
set him up.
What's so fat about it?
Bro, you can see it. You can see it in his eyes.
You can see it,
He cut his eyes at her.
Wonka actually provokes Violet, knowing that she is a champion gum chewer.
It's the most amazing, fabulous, sensational gum in the whole world.
What's so fat about it?
This little piece of gum is a 3-course dinner.
He's like, this is a 3-course dinner. Yeah. Gum chew champion?
Yeah.
He does mention as Violet is turning into a blueberry, they all become blueberries. Instead of warning her of the side effects beforehand, there is very little chance that Violet could have survived this, as Wonka does also warn of an explosion.
In a memoriam.
Wow, it said he warns of an explosion? I didn't remember that.
Veruca Salt is his third victim. In no way does Wonka try to help out when she falls down the chute. He only tells her dad what happens to the garbage.
Where did it lead to?
To the furnace.
And he didn't do shit to help her.
The last note she sings in her number gives us an idea of the distance which she fell. A rough estimate would put it at least 4 to 5 stories. However, we don't actually hear her land, which could imply that she falls much further. To make things worse, we know that she will only be cushioned by solid golden eggs. It's virtually impossible to survive the fall.
Yeah. To the furnace?
Mike TV is Wonka's 4th and possibly final victim.
That sound like a YouTube
Wonka
channel,
clearly didn't care about Mike endangering himself.
Stop, don't come back.
Mike may have been able
This
to make
nigga
it
really
out of
didn't
Wonka's
care.
torture chamber alive if it wasn't for Wonka wanting to send him to be stretched, which surely would end up killing him.
He really didn't give a crap.
There is one more child that entered the factory, and it seems he managed to evade Wonka's torture chamber. I'm of course talking about Charlie. Charlie and his grandpa were enticed by Wonka into drinking a highly experimental juice that makes you float. It's important to note that it's conveniently placed under fans that surely would have decapitated them both if it wasn't for Grandpa Joe burping, revealing the one flaw that saved their lives.
Yeah.
Damn.
One thing to notice before each kid does the thing they're not supposed to do, Wonka does warn them.
Hey, get away from that thing!
Stop, don't come back.
I don't care.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't.
This is what justifies the murder in his mind. In his mind, he's not killing the children, they're killing themselves by choosing to break rules. Wonka insisted at the end of the movie that all the children lived, but unlike the Johnny Depp movie, we never actually see the children leave the factory.
My dear boy, I promise you they'll be quite all right.
Wonka established in the very first scene that he was not to be trusted. He's not an honest character. He uses deceit and manipulation to test the kids. So should we really trust him when he claims at the end that all the kids are fine and restored to their normal selves?
We can't.
Now to the murder-suicide. There's 2 different ways to take the ending. There's the cop-out way to say that the glass elevator shattered and instantly kill Charlie, his grandfather and Wonka, and the rest is just a fantasy. But that's too simple. Instead, you could take the ending literally and say the glass didn't break and they actually did float off into the sky. First of all, regardless of whether the ending did or did not happen, I think it's extremely obvious that Wonka didn't know the elevator would actually go through the ceiling. He literally says so himself.
I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen.
But this roof is made of glass. It'll shatter in 1,000 pieces. We'll be cut to ribbons.
Probably.
So at first, he was upset that Charlie broke the rules and didn't die, but he was impressed that he figured out how the floating potion worked. I think he was planning on killing himself with the elevator after the event was over, but he decides to take Charlie and Grandpa with him in the elevator because they're the only ones that managed to survive his trap, so he lets them share his final moments. We never see where the elevator goes, or if it will continue floating into the Earth's atmosphere, which will inevitably
How would it
kill
even
them.
land? I appreciate your fear, Loomecy, for that nice insight.
Nice. That was dark.
I mean, it was dark as hell, but I can believe it. I can believe it for sure. If y'all got any more videos like this that we need to check out crazy dark theories, let us know, and we will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.
My endeavor, my endeavor, my endeavor. Fire burns hot, this is my endeavor, my endeavor. Fire burns high, yeah.
I got the fire, but
right. Ice, flame lit. Right. Ice, flame lit.
I got the fire, but
right.
yo,
ice,
flame
lit. Right. Ice, flame lit.
Yo, QA's my alma mater. I'm a mama's boy, so fuck.